Madam Deputy Speaker, it was on November 22nd, 2014, that the good people of St. Kitts and Nevis received a notice from the Canadian government that as of 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis will require a visa to travel to Canada. Canada has implemented a visa requirement on St. Kitts and Nevis due to concerns about the issuance of passports and identity management practices within its Citizenship by Investment program. Canada is acting to protect the safety and security of Canadians and the integrity of our immigration system. The visa requirement will ensure that Canada will be able to properly determine the true identity of St. Kitts and Nevis passport holders and to deny entry to those who would otherwise be inadmissible to Canada. Canada continues to welcome genuine visitors from St. Kitts and Nevis and has a number of programs, including a multiple entry visa, to make it easy for such legitimate visitors to travel to Canada. I make reference to that history, Madam Deputy Speaker, because it was on November 22nd, 2014, that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis had removed from us our right and privilege hitherto enjoyed of traveling to Canada without a visa. Since then, a lot has happened. The people voted in an election in 2015, and we ushered into being a new unity government, which pledged to do all that it could to repair the relationship with Canada. I rise, therefore, against that backdrop to advise that the Honourable Prime Minister has engaged at the highest levels in Canada with the Prime Minister there, the Honourable Justin Trudeau. I have had the benefit of engaging as well at the highest levels with successive foreign ministers in Canada, and as recently as June of last year, I was on Parliament Hill in Canada engaging there with various parliamentarians, including the Minister of Immigration, the Honourable Ahmed Hussein. What were we engaged about? We were engaged naturally in the question of whether we could have a restoration of the benefit that we hitherto enjoyed, which is the benefit of traveling to Canada without a visa. That has not yet happened, Madam Deputy Speaker. And indeed, Canada added, if you will, insult to injury when last year, 2018, they announced that as of December last year, people of St. Kitts and Nevis, like all of the Americas, requiring a visa must now also provide biometrics, fingerprints, and photographs to them, which would have necessitated us traveling to Trinidad and Tobago in order to apply for and do the biometrics for a Canadian visa. We made the case in Canada, Madam Deputy Speaker. I made the case. I know the Honourable Prime Minister would have made the case, and certainly our representative there, our High Commissioner, Ms. Varna Sherry Truss, and her team would have repeatedly made the case to the Canadian authorities that these efforts, while they were being done by Canada for the protection of Canada, would have a bad effect in terms of our ability to engage with Canada, St. Kitts and Nevis, and our nationals traveling there. Many of us are accustomed to going there for caribana, to see family, see relatives, to attend funerals, to attend weddings. And we have a long tradition of travel to and from Canada. And so that was a concern to us. I well recall, Madam Deputy Speaker, that when this issue of biometrics arose on my visit there in June of 2018, we raised a very real concern that it would mean the death knell of travel of our people to Canada. Because consider for a moment that a family of 4 wanting to go to Toronto for a visit would have first to travel to Trinidad to see if they get the visa and find the money to do that. They may well go there and be turned down. But if they got the visa, they would then have to find the money then to buy their tickets and to go to Canada. And we made the case, a very strong case, that it would mean the death knell of travel of our majority of our people, and that effectively this policy of Canada was closing off Canada to Kittitians and divisions. We therefore indicated that we would prefer if there was some better mechanism implemented to allow our people to give their biometrics and to have their biometrics collected. Canada initially was resistant to the idea of an itinerant biometrics collection system. That was what we asked for. They instead proposed that they would set up a center in Barbados and allow our people, instead of going to Trinidad, to go to Barbados, which they said was a little closer. We did the analysis, Madam Deputy Speaker, and we told them that travel to Trinidad via Liat and travel to Barbados via Liat was 6 of one, half dozen of the other in terms of cost. And that going to Barbados would pose the same impediment to our people as going to Trinidad. We were therefore very pleased when we were advised in this year that Canada had gone back and revisited its policy, and they had now found some wisdom in the suggestion that they do an itinerant system of collecting biometrics. As a result, Madam Deputy Speaker, the Canadians sent officials here during the week of August 26th to collect biometrics data. And I have risen because I think it's an important initiative that has benefited our people, because I'm advised that it was extremely successful and some over 250 persons were able to have their biometrics collected on the visit here. That is, I think, important because it also sends the right signal to Canada that Kittitians and Nevisians are willing and interested in continuing to travel to Canada and continuing to engage with Canada. And so having over 250 of our nationals and others, because I want to make it clear that this initiative was not only to benefit citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. Anybody who was in St. Kitts and Nevis who had applied for a Canadian visa was spared the expense of having to travel to Barbados or Trinidad. And I think, Madam Deputy Speaker, that that is a significant development for us. It demonstrates that when we make the effort to repair relationships, that it pays dividends. And whilst we have not yet got to where we want to get to in terms of a restoration of our visa-free travel, I think that this initiative from Canada was a very welcomed initiative which ended up saving our people a lot of money. And I'm very grateful to them. I have called the High Commissioner Marie Legault in Barbados to convey our thanks, and I'm grateful that the relationship now, Madam Deputy Speaker, is at a level where we can see that type of initiative from Canada benefiting St. Kitts and Nevis and our people, and I'm told it was also extended to Antigua, our neighbors next door. And I'm happy that whoever can benefit can benefit. That is, of course, a matter for them. We are delighted that through efforts engaged by us, efforts of our High Commissioner in particular in Canada, a continued and sustained diplomatic initiative, that we have been able to reap these benefits for our people. And I think it's important that our people hear this and that we continue to press Canada and continue to engage with them in a sensible and forthright and open manner, as nations of goodwill tend to do. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.